All right, guys, Good Boy 32 here. Check it out. We got a box from Palmetto State Armory. Now, in the infamous words of my friend Metham88 over there at the Ammo Mafia, what's in the box? So anyway, let's find out. This, guys, is a Palmetto State Armory 224 Valkyrie. Now, here's the deal. I had an opportunity. I took it out to the range, and I did shoot it. And I was not pleased with my personal performance. Not only that, just conditions were horrible for testing a rifle and actually doing a field review like we normally would do. So what I wanted to do, you're gonna get a bonus program here. You're gonna get a box opening. We're gonna go over all the individual little pieces and parts here, but mostly what I wanna do is just show you the rifle. Then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take it out to the range and we are going to test this thing for what it's worth. And I will tell you this right now, for my initial review when we zeroed in, and I was using the PST 5 to 25 on this guy, the groups were really, really tight. Not only that, but we had ammunition like this guy right here. This is Federal American Eagle. This is a 75 grain. We were achieving velocities at 2960 feet per second with this guy. Now the Sierra Match King's 90 grains was coming in right around a 2660 range on average, but we went ahead and set up the chrono and because I wanted to see how fast these things were going, because we have to figure out the dope. In order to figure out the dope, we got to figure out how fast the round's going, because this is a 20-inch barrel. But I will tell you this, she was sub MOA out to 200. So in any case, let's forget about that. We're going to be looking at that in the future. Let's go ahead and pull this bad boy out and see what she's got on her. Stand by. So what do we got here? Well, this is Palmetto State Armory's version of the 224 Valkyrie, and is labeled right here, PA 224 Valkyrie. And I will tell you this, right now I am very impressed with the workmanship, the way this thing is developed and put together. I want to go ahead and go over all the details on this guy, and in simple fashion what we'll do is we'll tear it down and take a look at it. Alright guys, well, let's talk about this thing from front to back. What we got is a 20-inch barrel. This thing is 416 stainless steel. She's got a 1-in-7 twist, and she's chambered in a 224 Valkyrie. Now, let me show you guys real quickly. If you're not familiar with the Valkyrie, I'm going to show you the differences between the two bullets. Now, because this thing fits on a small frame AR platform, and you have a round that will reach out to 1,000 yards and beyond, this thing will go 1,300 yards before it drops below subsonic. So here, let's take a look at this real quickly, shall we? All right, guys, what this is, you've got a 5.56 right here, and this is the 224 Valkyrie. Well, first impressions, you can tell that the casing on the 224 Valkyrie, well, it holds a lot more powder. Also, the bullet is much larger and much longer. So this is a 55 grain, and this right here, this is a 75 grain. Let's go ahead and pull them out of the casing so you can see. This is going to be a little more than just a rifle review. Stand by. All right, so what I've got in my hands, this is the 55 grain and this is the 75 grain. Now, what's the difference between size? There's a lot more powder pushing this guy through a 1-in-7 twist barrel. Now, a lot of people say, I can reach out to 1,000 yards with my 77 grain Sierra Match Kings, and that's not false. You can. This right here is a 75 grain Bowtail hollow point from Hornady. This is their precision round, and I tell you what, these guys right here are one of my favorites. But in any case, there you go. That is the 224 Valkyrie. This is a 5.56 in 55 grain, and there's a 223 in 75 grains. You can see the differences. But the difference is the oomph behind it, that which gets it there. All right, continue talking about the rifle. This thing comes with M4 extensions. It's got a rifle length gas system. It's got an adjustable gas block right here. And if I had the time, I'd go ahead and tear it apart. Now, one of the things I will tell you, this thing has a 15-inch free float handrail. It's a key mod system. You got QD attachment points here and here on this Magpul stock. All right, guys, so let's talk real quickly about the lower receiver. We've set up with a 2-stage trigger. This thing is nickel boron. Also, we've got some Magpul furniture on here with a grip and the CTR stock. I actually do like these guys, and I've fallen kind of not in love with it, but the STR, this one's really nice, and I do like it. It has your little detachable areas here that you can store some spare batteries in or whatever. But the impressive part about it, guys, is this. It is a very tight stock, and that's one of the things that I absolutely love. It's a 6-position buffer tube, and again, that is produced by Palmetto State Armory themselves. Let's go ahead and tear it apart real quickly, and I'll show you the inner workings of this thing. Stand by. Well, all right, guys, now that we got this thing separated, let's go ahead and take a real deep look at this thing. First of all, one of the things that I noticed is this extended trigger guard by Magpul as well. But again, the trigger system that's on this is one of the items that I am most impressed with. And what we're going to do real quickly now that we're in the shop is I want to show you something. There's the follow-up, and here is the final stage. Now, watch the reset. Very nice. All right, so now we got our little trigger pull thingy here. Let's go ahead and check the weight on that trigger. Because this is nickel boron, you really want to be careful if you want to do any adjustments to the finished surfaces. But she's going to break right at 5 pounds. Now, for a precision rifle, that's kind of heavy. But like I said, if you want to do some work on that trigger, you could probably get that thing down. At least if you sit there and you had about 500 trigger pulls on it, it'll smooth out as well as it'll probably lighten up on those contact surfaces. The trigger system is one of the things that I do love about this. Look at that. I like the finishes. Very nice. All right, let's talk about this. We've got the bolt carrier group and the charging handle. Now, your charging handle is just a mil spec, nothing special there, but you've got the bolt carrier group. Now, this bolt carrier group is labeled Valkyrie. Also has the cross cannons right there from Palmetto State Armory. And the bolt itself, if you'll notice right here, this ring is just a tad bit different. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab a bolt carrier group from a 5.56, and I want to show you the differences. Here you can see the differences in the bolt. The area right here is just a little bit thinner than it is here. So your wall on the bolt here and here is different. That's the only difference between a regular AR-15 rifle and the 224. Or the 6.8 is this guy right here and here. Bolt carriers are interchangeable. It's just the bolts themselves. So anyway, I thought that'd be helpful if you got to see that. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get dirty. I'm going to pull this thing apart, and we're going to take a look at the bolt. And there's firing pin retaining pin. As you can see, there's your pin right there. We'll go ahead and remove the cam pin, and there you go. I want to go ahead and take her all the way down and see what we got. As you can see, we got some brass on there from shooting it, and there you go. All right, so let's talk about the details of this guy. Well, the bolt carrier itself is a full auto bolt. The bolt steel is 9310 and is magnetically partically inspected. You can see right there, it is made of a 9310 steel. Firing pin is a usual firing pin. And basically, that's it. I mean, the fit and finish on this guy, it works, and that's what you want. The grade 8 fasteners are properly staked. All right, so basically that's it on the bolt carrier group. Let's go ahead and put it back together. I will add that it does have the little donut ring right there. A lot of people have asked me, why do you need a donut ring? Well, one of the reasons why is that it helps in overall performance and reliability. Let's go ahead and put it back together, and I'm going to talk to you about some of the things that I found out when I was shooting this guy. Here we go. Also, let's talk about what's in the buffer tube. This is basically the regular old mil-spec buffer from Palmetto State Armory, H2 buffer. Pretty nice. I mean, there's not a whole lot to be said. It's just a, buffer thingy. Go ahead and put it back together again. Why would you want one of these guys? Well, I'll tell you what. I think for someone who needed a lightweight rifle, as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and see what this guy weighs. Guys, you're looking at a rifle that weighs 6 pounds, 13.1 ounces naked like this. And it will shoot out past 1,000 yards accurately. Now, we're going to test that theory here pretty soon, but I will tell you this. Again, this thing is a sub-MOA rifle as it sits right here with only about 40 rounds through it. And I was very, very impressed, especially out to the 200-yard mark. And one of the reasons why we just didn't take it out to 1,000, conditions were horrible. The sun was right in our face, and there was no way I could give you a quality video because the environment was just not conducive. So as far as operation, I can tell you right now, the rifle performed flawlessly. I've got a couple pieces of video I'll show you here real quickly. Again, I didn't even have to adjust the adjustable gas block. The shells were ejecting at the 4 o'clock position the way they should be. And like I said, I was very, very impressed with its performance. Now, what would I change on this thing if I had it? Well, in all honesty, the trigger is probably a little heavy for someone who's accustomed to shooting a high-end 2-stage trigger or single stage. And of course, it comes with the A2 bird cage, and that will probably be an item that I would replace down the road. But for testing purposes, We're going to leave it as is. I can't wait to take it out there again. And I am very excited about that 224 round. Now, as speaking of which, when we do take this guy back out, I will most likely take one of my SPRs out as a competitive level rifle just to test and see how we can do compared to this guy. Even though that's a supersonic round, well, do you need it? Well, I don't know. But the nice thing is you've got a far-reaching round, just a tad over 6 pounds, and low recoil. Those are the positives. Now, a lot of people have asked how popular this round will be down the road. Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't know. The 6.8, the 6.5 Grendel. Speaking of which, the 6.5 Grendel, the magazines do work with this round. You're going to need a 6.8 SPC magazine. That was this guy right here. This was one that I actually went out and bought. This is a Pro Mag. It's an all-metal mag. It does have the mag pull follower. The only problem that I ran into this guy with, you only had 2 rounds in it. Watch this. Maybe that second round, like to flip around. And I mean, if you can see it, it just moves back and forth. Now you go ahead and you pop 3 rounds into it, and that stops. But the rounds are not in there the way they should. So would I recommend the Pro Mag? No. Palmetto State Armory is supposed to be sending me another magazine to use for testing. And I tell you what, we're really looking forward to running some really nice precision ammo. These, I just can't stand that. But these guys right here, guys, I was running this. This was sub MOA. And this is just plinking ammo. And you can buy this stuff right here for $9.99 a box. But you got a round that runs 2,960 feet per second and can go out to 1,000 yards, sub MOA. And that's another thing. If you just wanted to buy the upper, you have a 1,000-yard gun on your small frame AR-15 lower. All right, guys, if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate in leaving them down below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. We always end them like this. Guys, this thing's made in America, right down there in South Carolina. That's it. Support the red, white, and blue. God bless America. God bless those men, women in uniform, 24/7 for our freedom, because freedom is not free. It's Good Boy 32 out.